Schmelnick and Schmelnick. Injured? Been in an accident?
Know someone who's been in an accident?
Know someone who knows someone who's been in an accident?
Look like you've been in an accident?
Or want to just be in an accident? We can help you. At Schmelnick and Schmelnick, we've changed people's lives. We've turned common hypochondriacs into millionaires. Here are some of our testimonials.
It started as just a scratch, but thanks to Schmelnick and Schmelnick, now I'm a millionaire.
Okay, listen. Dr. John Doe, and I've personally checked into each and every one of these cases, inside and out. I give all of the expert medical testimony for Schmelnick and Schmelnick, and they've even handled a few of my own personal cases.
Ready? Schmelnick and Schmelnick! Well, what did you think of our fine, well-paid actors? Performances like this can be rehearsed for any courtroom in America. This can be your golden opportunity to sue your fellow man and make a pretty penny at the same time. Okay? Because at Schmelnick and Schmelnick, we can help you.
You,
yeah, we can help them. Call 1-900-SUE-YOU before our address changes or the Vice Squad catches up with us.
you took my line.
I took your line.
You slime? Just like that client we had. You took him right away from me.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Hey, you know, Hoffa.
Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Ooh, it's so mystical sounding. Why is it mystical sounding? Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious, and the paranormal is the new normal. Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, let's go over to that crazy little place we got on the intranet we call it Chatlandia. Let's go over there and see what's chatting about. Who's chatting over there? And looks like it's Weiss123. That's Catherine Weiss. She's one of our ultramods. And she says, "Hi, Aaron." And then she says, "I'll be over on YouTube tonight." And there's Kathy also says, "Hi, Peggy," because she knows Peggy's going to be along and going to be heading up the Rumble side of things. Then I said, "Hi, Kathy." Okay. And then we got Kathy over there on YouTube saying, "Hi, Aaron." And then Kathy over on YouTube says, "Hi, Peggy." And then me over on YouTube, I'm saying, "Hi, Kathy." And I gave some emojis that's a U.S. flag and Trump mugshot, a U.S. flag, but it doesn't show up. Oh, well, so swell. And the thumbnail tonight did not load on this YouTube version. Not sure why. Yeah, I'm not sure why. But sometimes things just go a little wonky, like Wonky Donk Mooberry. Reminds me of that listener we had that listens in. She's listening, just not on the intranet. And then Peggy Dancer, one of our ultramods, says, "Hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123 Kathy. I'll be on Rumble." And then she gives a heart, a thumbs up, and a little smiley face with 3 hearts around it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Aren't emojis? You know, there was a time where emojis were not part of life, and it's kind of a cool little part of life, isn't it? Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, "Hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123 Kathy. I'll be here on Rumble," because she's on Rumble there. And then Skylark is here. Look at our longtime friend Skylark74. "Greetings, fellow Truth Questers." And then Kathy says, "Hi, Skylark74. Then I said, "Hi, Peggy. Hi, Skylark74. And then Cap 78 Pack says, "Hello, Skylark. Welcome to Truth Questers. Welcome in Truth Questers." Oh, and look, there's Kathy over there on the portrait broadcast over there on YouTube. We got 2 different broadcasts going on. One for your confuser, one for your phone. So hi, I'm not over on that, so I'm just going to wave hi. And Kathy says, hi, Peggy, from over there on the phone. Oh, and look who's here. It's our good friend, the BK. Greetings, Aaron and Catherine Weiss. Well, hello there, the BK. Good to see you here. And look who else is here. Why, it's Operation Shutdown. It's one of our ultra mods over there on YouTube. And he says, not a licensed physician. Yes, that's Ray. He was not a licensed physician. Of course, he gives all the expert testimony for Schmelnick, and they've even handled a few of his own cases. And if you notice, if you look and listen, you'll notice that he's not wearing a surgical mask. We were trying to make the video, and he needed a mask. He just took some paper from where you dry your hands in the men's room, and he just wrapped it around and taped it. So it's paper. Yeah, that's definitely not a licensed physician there. And Kathy says, hi, the BK. I gotta say hi, BK, and hi, Operation Shutdown. Hi, at op. There it shows up. Hi, at the BK. The BK. There we go. Got that in there. And let's see. The BK, pray for peace in Minneapolis. It's getting complicated. Yes. Yeah, the media has to stop and lawmakers have to stop vilifying ICE. They're there to take the bad guys. And in sanctuary states like Minnesota, they make it as difficult as possible, and they throw these protesters in that, they describe ICE as the Gestapo or Nazis. So these people, they think that they're doing something good, but they're not. You charge a car towards any officer, you can expect to be shot. Okay, they're not going to be handing out donuts, right? But yeah, pray for peace. Very good. And Jordy says hi. Hi, Jordy. And then Skylark says, hello, Catherine. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Aaron. And Kathy says, hi, Operation Shutdown. And then Operation Shutdown says, hi, Catherine Weiss. And we got Greg Moret. He says something in a foreign language. I don't know what it says. I can't put it on there because I don't want to risk getting some kind of thing happening to me. I don't know what lingo you're talking about, what lingo schmingo you're talking about, but Skylark74 says, I haven't had time to do any further reading about the tridactyls. It's a wonder I'm here at all. Well, we're good to see you here, buddy. We're glad to see you. Here's this Greg guy. I don't know what he's saying there. Do you know what he's saying there? Don't know. Not going to repeat it. Not sure. And Yarksy says hi. And there's a lot of people saying stuff. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. If you say hi more than once, it's probably you might be a bot. And if you seem human but you're not, you might be a redneck bot, right? And I said, hi, Operation Shutdown. Hi, the BK. And Operation Shutdown says, hello, Aaron. And Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, hiya, BK. Operation Shutdown over on YouTube. And Cap 78 Pack says, may the woman rest in peace and condolences to her family and young son. That is very tragic. I wish these people would not be gaslighted into thinking that everything Trump does is evil. It's just not. He goes by the law. Always. Always. And then hilarious, the BK says. And Operation Shutdown says, hello, Peggy Dancer. All right. It looks like we're all caught up on that. Well, I think we better just jump right into this and get into what's over there on the Book of Faces. We'll go over and check out what's happening over there. Crazy little spot on the intranet. Okay. Is that it? That's it. Share. And there we go. War is dead. Fear is fading. Peace is here. Yes, peace is here. Peace is here. And there's that crazy, one of those new crazy tridactyls. Of course, he's got 3 fingers, 3 toes. He looks very reptilian. And this one has fangs. Now, the other ones, I don't think they even had teeth. This one has fangs and a tail, like a forked tail. So I think, and it looks like his legs are bending in sort of the way like a bird bends their legs. So I don't know, were these tridactyl beings, whether they be the smaller reptilian ones or the larger humanish looking ones, still with 3 toes and 3 fingers, if they were doing genetic experiments or if this is just the variety of that type of a creature in Peru thousands of years ago. It's amazing they still have skin and some other organs, and it's making it harder for people to claim that it's faked. It's not faked. These are real living creatures. Now, where did they come from? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knew, Mr. Magoo. Nobody knows. So there it is. Episode 716. Can you believe it? Here's something crazy. Jason Shirka put this out, and we'll see if that makes the image a little bit bigger. There we go. Crop circles. I'm sure you might have already seen this. Check it out.
Crop circles. These elaborate designs appear mysteriously swirled into crops of grain in such a way that the stalks are bent over, yet remain alive. One of the most amazing crop designs is not a circle, but a rectangle that seems to be a direct response to a message sent out into space in 1974. The message was a radio signal depicting our planet's location in our solar system and Earth's people, in hopes that it might be received and interpreted by an extraterrestrial intelligence. 27 years later, in 2001, this crop design appeared in England, along with what could be a self-portrait of the sender. This message matches the format of the NASA signal and describes a different solar system from ours, a picture of the sender, non-human DNA, and a microwave antenna they apparently use to communicate, rather than the radio antenna that we use. The antenna symbol had appeared a year earlier in exactly the same field, right next to a working radio wave antenna, like the one NASA used to send out the original signal. NASA continues to officially deny extraterrestrial contact of any kind. Crop circles. These elaborate
Of course they deny it. The minute they don't deny it, there's going to be questions they don't want to answer. Here's a headline you don't see every day. Uranus may be filled with a lot more methane than we thought. Oh, it could have been the beans we ate. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're talking about the planet. Oh, the planet. Yeah. Oh, I knew you were talking about the planet. Yeah. Don't you love headlines like that? Too funny. From IFL Science. An enormous amount of methane may be deep within Uranus. Oh, and it's going to be pretty smelly when it comes out. You got to know. So get your air freshener handy, your space air freshener. So here it is from Magadoodle. Number 1, she is ordered out of car. 2, she refuses. 3, she backs up. 4, drives forward into ICE agent. 5, ICE agent pulls out a gun when she starts moving forward into his body. 6, self-defense. 7, case closed. My libtard friend here, Robert Karstead, he's, man, I wish he would just do a little bit of research. He's so stuck in the mainstream. He's got his head stuck up the mainstreams, you know what. He says, wasn't actually Bobbitt, misspells Babbitt, ordered to not breach, and she refused, attempted to crawl through a window and was shot. Yeah, she was unarmed. If you're behind the wheel of a vehicle and you're told to stop, you don't stop, and you go towards an officer, you are going to get shot, okay? Doesn't matter if you think that person is a Nazi or whatever the lamestream media told these people that ICE was. They're doing a job. They're cleaning the streets that your state refuses to do to keep people safe. It's one of President Trump's campaign promises, and he's following through. First president ever to follow through on his promises. And all they can do is complain. Yeah, and I'm not going to go through all the replies. He's just an idiot. Not worth the time. Breaking video shows the moment a woman tried to run over ICE agents with her vehicle in Minneapolis, resulting in her being shot. Tim Walz calling ICE the Gestapo is exactly why this stuff happens. Shame on Walz and Mayor Fry. Yes. Shame on them. It's blood on their hands. They ginned up all of this hate in the media. Sickening. So sickening. So sickening. Oh, guess what, folks? I'm reading a horror novel in Braille. Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, thanks, Dad jokes. Oh, don't you love that? Looks like Kathy liked that one. And Trump put this out. Of course, I don't think anything's been... Retard Walls hasn't put anything out yet. Here's Trump. I just reviewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. Yeah, ran him over. Who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. Has to stop. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. Very well put. President Donald J. Trump. Conservative mom, thanks for putting that out there. Oh, this guy's back again. Anthony Brock. He won't give up. The GOAT keeps winning. Look at this guy. He's so funny. Watch this.
Hello. Welcome to round 6. Today, I brought a little culture to this fight. Let's see who's boss.
Olay, you some bitch!
This goat is so stupid. I wonder if Cam Scottaboo could help. Hello. Welcome to round 6.
If you haven't seen this guy, go watch our last show. He has 2 of them. One, he's in a suit of armor, and the other one, he tried zenning out in a big rubber ball. He always loses. The goat wins. Why? Because he's the goat, the greatest of all time. The goat. He can't win against the goat. Oh, Steve Guest put this out. Flashback 1989. Joe Biden would love what President Trump just did if he was coherent and could remember back that far. Let's go after drug lords where they live. This is Biden talking from 1989. Let's go after drug lords where they live with an intentional strike force. No safe haven for narco-terrorists. Oh, big talk, but you do nothing. It took Trump to do it because he's got the kahunas. He did it. And it's going to be Elvis Presley's birthday tomorrow on the 8th, January 8th. So say happy birthday to the king of rock and roll. He brought so much joy through his music to so many people. And I think, there are impersonators that do all sorts of performers. I'm pretty sure there are more Elvis impersonators than any other artist. A lot. The pussy hat wearing left. Oh, perfectly happy when Bush Sr. captured Noriega. Perfectly happy when Clinton bombed the Balkans. Perfectly happy when Obama killed Gaddafi. So sad. That's a horrible thing that he did there. And Hillary. And now they're outraged because Trump captured Maduro. Something all these guys wanted to do. Or a couple of them. Breaking, Tim Walz now faces mass calls to resign. The Minnesota Speaker of the House says voters must elect a Republican because every Democrat candidate is complicit in this fraud. Yeah, she is right. Tim must not only resign, but be criminally indicted. Yes, I think orange is the new Tim Walz. Must go red, yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Mace subpoenas Ilhan Omar. I think Nancy Mace, she should have her own brand of mace. Wouldn't that be cool? I think she should. Mace subpoenas Ilhan Omar. Yeah, she should be deported. And here's a little thing about Richie Valens. If you didn't know this about him, he was one of the three rock stars that were killed in that plane crash with Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper and Richie Valens. Eddie Cochran was on that tour too, but he had to split, went to New York before that fatal flight. So here's a little bit of Richie Valens, of course, La Bamba, big hit. Here it is.
Richie Valens was like a shooting star. He comes out of nowhere, he shines brilliantly for a relatively brief period of time, and then he's gone.
He had this big hit, La Bamba, and it was sung in Spanish. It was unheard of.
All of a sudden, you have not just kids who grew up listening to Spanish, maybe speaking Spanish, but you also have their fair-skinned counterparts who suddenly are just totally intrigued by this song in a language they can't understand, but it's certainly something that they can dance to. It's got a rhythm.
Well, Richie Valens was called the Little Richard of the San Fernando Valley. Little Richard was my idol too. I mean, that's how I started singing.
Yeah, he was awesome. Richie Venezuela was his real name, but they changed it. Richie Valens. And that La Bamba song he sang, it's a Spanish song, but he didn't even know Spanish. He had to learn how to sing that song, but he wanted to sing it real bad. And luckily he did. That was his big breakaway hit. He was 17 when he died. Very sad, very tragic. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. puts this out. On January 20th, the Trump White House will advise all U.S. water systems to remove fluoride from public water. Fluoride is an industrial waste associated with arthritis, bone fractures, bone cancer, IQ loss, neurodevelopmental disorders, and thyroid disease. Do you need any more reasons? President Trump, at Real Donald Trump, and First Lady, at Melania Trump, all caps, want to make America healthy again. Isn't that nice? Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Thanks, Allie Louie. Here's Frontline America with Ben Bergwam. He caught up with Adam Schiff again. He keeps running into this guy. He's at the airport this time. Check this out. Oh.
I just ran into at the airport. It's like my best friend now. Been so long. Adam Schiff. How you doing? Doing well. So in the Senate, what do you think is going to get you first? The treason you committed against President Trump in his first 4 years, or the fraud in California? Take care of yourself, huh? Yeah, I am. Just wondering, any family history, got a little bit of the Somali resemblance. Why do you think we have so much fraud, though, being committed in Democrat cities and states? What do you think caused that? One last question. Do you think the fact that Eric Swalwell had an affair with a Chinese spy should disqualify him from being governor of California? Sir? Should that disqualify Eric Swalwell?
Crickets.
Okay, I said that was the last question. Real last question. Is there any truth to the rumor that you had something to do with Anthony Bourdain's suicide?
Uh-oh.
Any truth to that rumor?
Boom.
I guess he's got nothing else to say. California, that's your senator. What a shame, guys. What an absolute shame. But there is something about the guy. I don't know if it's the Somali-shaped head. I don't know what it is, but keep praying for him. I'm praying for you, Adam. Find Jesus. He loves you. And the answer for the question I asked about Eric Swalwell cheating with Fang Fang is yes. It should disqualify him. He should be prosecuted. Waiting for that one, too. Schiff couldn't answer that question, but I'll answer it for you. Sad thing is, Katie Porter's even worse. California's better. Wake enough people up. You're not going to believe who I just ran into at the airport.
Look at the Patriot smile there. Look at that guy. Very cool guy. There was a massive pirate ship driving around my neighborhood. This is somehow legal while I can't get my windows tinted. Mittens ID put that out. Oh, is that from Wholesome Memes? Yes, Wholesome Memes. You got it. Yeah, see, it's very, very evident. Here's Byron Donalds. Let's see what he has to say.
It's a bunch of money exchangers, hand to hand, not bank account to bank account.
Exactly.
And what is clear in Somalia and other parts is that Al-Shabaab, the largest Al-Qaeda affiliate in Somalia, they have their hands all through this network. So taxpayer money, United States dollars that are being remitted into Somalia in parts have been utilized or have fallen into the hands of Al-Shabaab. Do you think that's a correct assessment?
Yes, we have plenty of evidence of that, from money directly going to Al-Shabaab, but then also indirectly because they take a cut of whatever gets sent to Somalia.
A Hawala network is a bunch of money exchangers, hand to hand, not bank account to bank account.
Exactly.
And what is clear in Somalia and other parts is that Al-Shabaab, the largest Al-Qaeda affiliate in Somalia, they have their...
They're tracking it all down. Oh, here's the Freedom Force. This was almost the thumbnail for tonight's show. Pete Hegseth as Iron Man, Trump as Captain America, and J.D. Vance as, is this Thor? Yeah, Thor's hammer right there. Thor. I like that. Freedom Force. And this is Caroline Leavitt. Massive Maha wins Trump's presidency. We can skip over that, I think. This is great. Remember Sean Farage said that Maduro was in his Hello Kitty pajamas. Is this a real picture? This can't be a real picture. Oh. Hello?
The chat is on the screen.
Okay, the chat's on the screen. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, the chat's on the screen. I better get that off of there, huh? There. Okay. All right, that was the bat phone. Kathy has the bat phone number. All right, do you think that's a real picture from the... I don't know. AI is so good, I don't know. If it is real, that's so darn funny. Oh, I don't think it's real, though. You think? Donald Trump. Yeah, election integrity. Donald Trump is sharing out all of these videos, proving the election fraud. It's pretty interesting. January 6th will go down in history as the day the governments staged a riot to cover up the fact that they certified a fraudulent election. True, in my humble opinion. Dan Bongino put this out. They confiscated Maduro's phone. He's got to laugh. I'm sure this is just AI as well, or photoshopped. What's this? Putin. We make deal. No tell Trump. China. Trump bury FAFO. Gringo Canada. Come to Canada whenever. Smiley face. Zelensky, can I borrow 500 million? Otro Chino. I think this is Rocket Man, right? You are homosexual. And Trump, come outside. Come outside. 2:08 a.m. Oh, that's pretty funny. What Obama sent terrorists, what Trump sent terrorists. Yes, big difference. Your television, if your television hadn't told you to hate this man, you'd be happy right now. Yeah, people are missing out on a joy factor that they'll never see again. Just there's never been more of a reason to be happy than right now, folks. With all the things he's doing, my goodness. Oh, look at this absolute beautiful car sculpture. Of course, this is I think it's a 1956 or 55 Thunderbird, Ford Thunderbird, two-seater. That's back when it was a two-seater, much better. And they expanded it to a four-seater and never was the same. Just a beautiful, beautiful car. There's something really magical about that car design. There's a few car designs that are just very magical. I would put this into that category. Very cool car. Man, too cool for school, you might even say. Oh, fraudtastic. Oh, look. You got Tampon Timmy there. Ilhan Omar. Gavin Newscomb, he's the guy with the fire. Yeah, he's causing fires all the time. And you got, squad leader up here, AOC as that rock guy, whatever his name is. Mudman? I'm not sure what it is. I'm not into the Fantastic Four. Look at this. No generation fought wind better than ours. Look at those windbreakers from the 80s. Windbreakers. You don't even see windbreakers anymore. In the 80s, everything was a windbreaker. Oh, yeah, it doubles as a windbreaker. Oh, really? Oh, because that wind. Oh, you got to watch out for that wind. Let me tell you. Right? That's right. Look at those colors. Well, dressed like that, you couldn't lose a family member. They get lost, find them right away. He's wearing bright pink like us. Oh, there he is, right over there. Don't you love that? No generation fought wind better than ours. Here's Caroline Levitt. Again, we're going to skip over that. Several Democrat politicians are now calling for the impeachment of President Trump over his removal of Maduro. Representative April Delaney, Maryland, Representative Delia Ramirez, Illinois, and Rep. Dan Goldman, New York, among others. Pay attention. We're seeing who works for the drug cartels now. Step right up and defend the drug cartels, people. It's a big tell. Big tell. Thanks, Terrence Williams, by his pancake mix. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. And look at this cartoon. I like this. I've got you. Saves the baby from the shark. And what do the libtards say? Trump starves sharks. Trump starves sharks. Oh, that mean man. No, he's a good guy. Okay. It looks like Kristi Noem has new eyebrows. That's all I can say. Holy smokes, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem just sent a startling message to Gavin Newsom. But to her, just to defend her about the eyebrows, I think, she always looks really well put together, but she was like up all night. And so I think, maybe her makeup person was helping her out. But check out what she says. She's got a really cool voice too. I could see her being president or vice president someday. She's got a very authoritative and easy to listen to voice. She's got a great voice. Listen to her.
Oh, we'll be there. We think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. So Minnesota is unbelievable what we've seen, but it is leading us to networks all over the country and overseas, and we're going to follow every single one of them. Homeland Security Investigations is an incredible team of individuals who go after human traffickers, sex traffickers, but the fraud that we have in our public programs that are tied to California, absolutely. We're going to come to you, Governor Newsom, and we're going to arrest every single individual that has ties to this kind of stealing of taxpayer dollars, and we will hold them accountable.
The governor of California says, bring it on.
Oh,
oh, they love to hear that. That's an invite. Yeah, go get the bad guys. Marked safe from believing January 6th was an insurrection. I guess it was a reverse insurrection by the Demtards. And Bird's Family Daycare, brandy wine, 2 alcoholic beverages for his daycare. Bird's Family Daycare. Well, listen to this from Diamond and Silk. Oh my God. Capitol Police Officer Michael Bird, who took out unarmed Ashley Babbitt, not Bobbitt, Robert, on January 6th, reportedly has a taxpayer-funded daycare in his home run by his wife. Since 2008, the Birds have received $190 million, according to the Gateway Pundit. How are these daycares making this much money? This did not exist when I worked in daycares. If it did, I didn't know about it. Wow. Sheesh. I wouldn't want to start one now because it would have a bad look. You're just going after the money. And Cap 78 Pack, Peggy Dancer says, why aren't more people talking about the pink dress suit that Caroline and others are wearing? Think pink. I didn't see that. Was that pink she was wearing? Could be. Oh, you hear about this? One of the hotels that the Hilton was using in the Minneapolis area, they refused some ICE officers' rooms, and now their Hilton is cutting ties. I'm not going to read the whole thing. That's just it in a nutshell. On January 20th, oh, we already saw this. Yes. Breaking news, it's official. West Virginia becomes the first state to ban artificial food dyes from all foods sold statewide. No more red 40, yellow 5, or blue 1. Oh, good. Now we got 49 other states left to go. Let's go for it. Let's go for. Oh, did you ever see this? This is the future we were denied. Maybe for very good reason. The eyebrow auto brake. Just use your eyebrows. A brake system invented in Yugoslavia. Oh, there's a clue there. Is activated by muscles above the driver's eyebrow. It cuts the reaction time required by foot braking system by 75%. And if you sneeze, you'll stop. Oops. I guess I moved my eyebrows when I sneezed. Oh, no. A silver electrode over each brow picks up the slight current generated in the moving muscle. The impulse goes to amplifier above where the voltage gain is sufficient to activate electromagnetic. The magnet pulls the brake pedal. You know, I'm really glad this didn't become state of the art. Can you imagine wearing these goofy glasses just to drive your car? Oh, yeah, I got a new car. It comes with these glasses. I got to wear them. If I sneeze, the car stops. Oh, my goonie. A little slice of vintage life. Thanks for sharing that. Never heard of that before. I have never heard of that before. That's Trump talking about Thomas Massey, the worst Republican. He's going to have someone go in his place. Look at this. Lane Crew. He's a young Elvis impersonator. He's also a pastor now. He posts this. 198 in Texas. Yeah, he actually looks a lot like young Elvis. So check out Lane Crew. Protect Maduro's rights. Democrats stand with dictators. Of course they do. Of course they do. And look at this. This is the 1971 Trans Am champion. Look at AMC went out and won the 1971 Trans Am championship with a Javelin AMX. And this is their next year's 72 Javelin AMX that anyone could purchase. Look at that. Too cool for school, man. They were doing all the right things. You know what, though? They didn't have enough dealerships. If they would have had more dealerships, they could have sold a lot more of those cars. I think it's a beautiful car. A little trouble for Amy Klobuchar. Hear about this? Her father was a great writer for the Star Tribune, but she's not great at anything. Breaking, an FEC complaint has been filed against Senator Klobuchar today. The Fox News video I linked above was from April 24th, but something brand new. By next week, I will have filed an FEC complaint against U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. Takes $3,946,364 U.S. dollars in 46,448 smurfing contributions from 5,160 contributors. Oh, smurfing. She's going to be in it. Oh, good. Oh, my nephew asked me where Walla Walla was located. I told him somewhere between Ting Tang and Bing Bang. Ting Tang, Walla Walla, Bing Bang. That's where it's located. Thanks, Jacob Blank, for putting that out there. Let's see. Dan Bongino put this out. CNN tries to debunk the Somali fraud bombshell.
I mean, CNN was trying to debunk Nick Shirley. Watch this.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business.
So the CNN reporter calls all of these places and only one answers. Well, That's not a good sign. Then she said one of them said they were legitimate. Oh, okay. Well, case closed then. Thanks, CNN. They said they were legitimate, so let's just take them at their word. And all this fraud, I guess it's just nothing. I guess Nick Shirley is a total liar. I mean, come on. American politics has become so black and white where nobody uses critical thinking skills. They're so beholden to the team that they are on. That is why you have Democrats defending Somali fraudsters. This is why the Democrats were screeching about Doge. Democrats were absolutely up in arms over Elon Musk and Doge. Why? Well, it all makes sense, doesn't it? It all makes sense now.
It sure does. Yep. Dems continue to slam Trump over Venezuela mission. I think we'll skip over that. From now on, money laundering will be called daycare leering centers. Yeah. Any meme that uses this picture is a good meme. That's my opinion. Walsh replaced the Minnesota state flag with a Somali flag. That's part of why he deserves the name Traitor Tim. Put the flag back. Yes. A lot of states are doing this. It's the 8-pointed star. That's the Islam star. It's an Islamic star. 8-pointed. They're all, a bunch of states are doing it. All these libtard states. It's just sickening. That needs to stop. God, my libtard friend. Look at this. This is a memory. Frosty day from 2021, 5 years ago. That's my little backyard here. And look at the frost on that gate there. That's pretty cool. And all the frost on the trees in my backyard. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Nature. That's the cool thing. Retard of the Lear. Happy New Lear 2026. Look at that guy. How does a guy like this win anything ever? There has to be cheating. No way a guy like that could win anything ever. Give me a break. Prove me wrong. Vaccine reform. You hear about this? We're going to the gold standard of science, and we're no longer requiring 72 jabs. They're going to the one that's done over in Europe. It's 11. I would say 11 of the most serious, dangerous diseases. But you know what? I just don't think we need any. The more they learn, the more they're going to realize, you know what? We already have everything in our body we already need. Anything you put in is just going to complicate things and not going to come out good. We're just not smart enough to figure that out yet, okay? We're just not. You can't inject something into yourself and have it do something good. It always will do something really bad if it does something slightly good. That's my opinion. Breaking: suspect in attack on Vance's home is transgender son of wealthy Democrat reports real. Oh, imagine that. Nick Shirley is proof that citizen journalism is the only journalism left. All corporate media is just propaganda. Nick took down a governor today. Yes, and there's our last show. We're going back over here. Here we are. Back over here. Yeah, it's something else, isn't it? Well, let's not waste any time and get right over there to X and see what the heck is going on over there. Shall we now? Here we are on X. And, oh, wait a minute. There it is. Look at Nazca mummies. Look at this. This is really interesting. Look at that. Look at that.
Josephina. She has a size of 58.5 centimeters or 1'11". Her species is humanoid reptile. Her gender, female. There is a presence of cranial sutures and a presence of tympanic bubble. A metallic breastplate is placed on her chest. Its composition is as follows: 85% copper and impurity like iron and sulfur. She possibly has a retractile neck, which would be capable of being drawn back. There is a presence of joints. She has 9 pairs of ribs, plus 2 floating pairs. Humans usually have 12 pairs. Her feet have 3 toes with 3 phalanges. She has 3 fingered hands, including 4 phalanges and a long fingernail. Humans usually have 3 phalanges. The thumb has 2. There is a presence of a reproductive system. This female specimen is presumably pregnant, with a presence of 4 ovoid objects in her abdomen, which are most likely eggs. Unlike with Victoria, there has been no DNA analysis or C14 dating for this particular specimen at this time.
Interesting, huh? I would say. There's the eggs. There's the whole reproductive system there. You got number 4 egg in formation there. It's going to have 4 eggs. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Crazy. There's our show on YouTube. There's our show on, this one has a tail, isn't this? And fangs, like fang. And here is another presentation of the Nazca mummies. Crazy, huh? Crazy. Oh, look at 1 million, over 1 million signatures to voter ID on the ballot over in California. And Elon Musk is heading that up. But look at this. You got a new job at the pet store. You got a really easy job. All you got to do is take the kittens from one cage and put them in the other cage. Watch this guy. He's a pro. Watch how good he does it. Easy job, huh? Not going well. I hope he's getting paid by the hour. Look at that. You got to find a different way, dude. Some other way. Oh, my. Oh, Skylark says, it doesn't look like it had ever been a viable living being. Really? Yet there are the eggs indicating that it lived long enough to try to reproduce itself. This is beyond weird. I think it looks, you got all the tendons, some of the brain matter still in there. I mean, this is not faked. These are not faked. These were alive beings. At some point, they were alive, walking around. And maybe they still are. They may be still living underground somewhere. Calling the pterodactyl a space alien is kind of the easy way out, a way to avoid having to explain why it was here. Well, I think that, there's lots of species that were on this earth we never knew about and don't know about yet that might be either completely extinct or living underground because, there's been like mass extinction events where it wiped almost everything off every time we have a something of the sun hitting Earth. It just, 3 mile high tsunamis worldwide wipes a lot of things out. So I think that it's probably Earth life. That's my opinion. They look like they were once alive. You just can't fake something like that. It's not paper mache. When they first came out, everyone said, "Oh, they're paper mache." It's because they look white. It's because the Demetrius dirt that they were buried in. It is indeed weird. Yeah, I'll never call them aliens. I think they do resemble what some aliens are purported to look like, but they still look like terrestrial creatures to me. I don't know. That's just me, though. Just me. Here's the Nazca mummies, topography of the new Nazca mummy, Siliqua. Did we see this one yet? Look at this thing. Look at that. Look at this guy. All that red area, that's like muscle and tendons. So this is like skin. The skin is still on these creatures. What they need to do next is wash all that dirt off so we can see what they look like. You can kind of see what it looks like here. But look at those fangs. Oh, look at those feet. Wow. That looks like it was once alive. I mean, there's no way you can fake that. Look at the brain. There's some stuff in there. It's not full, but there's some stuff in there. Wow. Interesting. Endlessly interesting. Look at this. Took the home projector to projector home. Look at this guy did. Isn't that cool? I like that. Isn't that too cool for school? Wow. That's a projector. So everyone could see that. That's pretty cool. Oh, Cap 78 Pack says Senator Tim Burchett, DS aide, President Trump. Oh, is the aide President Trump needs to be the one who discloses more on UFOs, etc. Well, yeah, I think the disclosure comes from the people. Skylark, now I'm wondering if they will find part dinosaur DNA in the pterodactyls. Very, very possible. There was a bipedal dinosaur with a very large brain for its body size that went extinct. I don't think it looked like this thing, though. But there's been so many things, probably hundreds of thousands of different species that have rose and fallen on this planet we don't know anything about. So why we got to keep digging. Disclosures have been paltry so far. Yes, they will remain that way because the more questions they answer, the more questions they're going to get. And they don't want more questions. They'd rather not even address it. That's my opinion. Look at this. Here's supposedly a reptilian, but I don't know. With all the fake noise on this, it makes me think it's fake. It's not real, but no music to it. It's interesting, but I don't know. You know, AI can do so much. This could very easily be just some AI thing, but it's intriguing. You know, it might be pretty close to what they look like. Some of them. There are different types of reptilians, of course. This one looks like it could bite your head off, huh? Don't want to meet that guy in a dark alley if he's real. Oh, look at this. From dudes posting. This might be one of the craziest things I've ever seen. A dog at an animal shelter figured out how to escape his cage and then somehow opened the door and got out. This happened in Huntington, West Virginia. And they're still looking for him. He's not coming back. I'm going to go find my own food, man. This place sucks. Were any of the other dogs watching how he did it? Look at this guy. He gets out of his cage, goes to the door, probably remembers them turning that thing. It's a little unlocking thing you can turn. He just does it. Figures it out. Look at this guy. I guess I got to grab this with my teeth because I don't have thumbs. Boom, he got out. Look at that. You know, they make a big thing about cat burglars. What about dog burglars? Look at that. The Great Escape. You're not going to keep me tied down. Oh, yeah. He's looking for freedom. Look at that. So cool. They are so smart. Animals are so smart. Dogs are so smart. Yep. That's good. Oh, well, see you, Skylark. It was nice seeing you while you were here. He's being called away. He's got duties to do. And there he is saying, "You're welcome, buddy." He says, "Thank you, Aaron." And he says, "I hope you all have a good night." Well, thanks, buddy. I hope you do too. I hope that everything's going to be okay over there. All right. And Tony put this out, never deleting this app. Tony says, "I'm aware of a shooting involving an ICE agent at 34th Street in Portland. The presence of federal immigration enforcement agents is causing chaos in our city." This is from Mayor Jacob Fry. "We're demanding ICE to leave the city immediately. We stand rock solid with our immigrant and refugee communities and criminals." And Elon Musk says, "You are a pathetic donkey." Yeah, he is. Here's some close-up views of some of those skulls. They look a little bit like E.T., don't they? The extraterrestrial. Great movie, by the way. Oh, breaking. Black Hawk spotted overhead near Minneapolis, says the National Guard prepares for deployment. Things are getting very tense out here, from Nick Sorter. Game over from Il Donaldo Trumpo. Let's see what this is.
Based on what you've learned, Representative, over the last several years, do you have any doubt that Governor Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
He absolutely knew that it was occurring.
Based on what you've learned, Representative.
Yeah. Chicago Ray, Dan Bongino. Let's hear from Dan. He's back in the saddle again. Let's hear what he says.
They were doing things by hand because Cronkite and Brokaw wouldn't run with those stories if it made a Republican look good for uncovering the scandal. I bring that up because that's all gone now. Information exchange has been completely democratized. I've got friends on X. You know, I follow it. I'll throw one at Chicago Ray. Chicago Ray, if you're out there. Have we ever met? No. But I feel like I've known him forever. Why? We follow each other on Twitter. I've never met Chicago Ray in my life. I just like his Twitter account. You should follow him too. Chicago Ray, in the Rush Limbaugh initial radio era, would have never had that kind of access to it. It's not Rush's fault. It's just, it wasn't even email when Rush started. You see my point? How Twitter, X, True Social, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, all of this stuff has enabled us to connect and exchange information at light speed and make new friends and learn new things. We are the media now.
He's repeating a lot of Q-isms there. Interesting. Interdesting, might even say. Here's Tom Holman.
And this should come as no surprise to the American people. You and I spoke months ago. I made a promise that we would flood the zone of every sanctuary city in this country as bringing thousands of more agents, 10,000 more agents because of the big, beautiful bill. Why Minneapolis? Why are they being prioritized right now? Because billions of dollars fraud has been uncovered. And what they need to be concerned with, Tim Walz says he's not going anywhere. Well, either am I. Either is President Trump, either is Pam Bondi, either is Kristi Noem. So we're there because of the priority census, right? But that show is going on the road. So if the Democrats are having a fit now, you better get counseling because this is about to get a hell of a lot bigger throughout this nation. That show is going on the road. I actually think Minneapolis is the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to find a hell of a lot more in Illinois, New York, California. We'll see. But this operation will go nationwide. We're going to keep our promise. And because President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office, every American can put their head on the pillow tonight, knowing the Border Patrol is on that border, stopping all threats coming across. Most secure border in history of this nation. ICE agents and FBI agents are working 24/7, 365, every hour of every day, taking public safety threats and national security threats off our streets. Sleep well, America, because we're keeping America safer. So we're doing exactly in Minnesota what we're going to do nationwide, which you and I talked about, Sean. We're keeping President Trump's promise to American people to make this country safe again, one city at a time, one criminal alien at a time.
Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, wait. Look at this. What do you guys think about this idea for just a range extender? Just a range extender. Look at that. Who needs a battery when you got something like this rigged up in the back, right? Look at that. He's pretty happy to do it. Just as happy as if he had good sense. Look at here's Nick, or not Nick, Nick Shirley. Yeah, he's getting some McDonald's, and look, it's Tampon Timmy giving the order to him. Tampon Timmy's sad because he's out of tampons. And nobody's crying. Look at this. Friendly reminder, treason is punishable by death. This is a rerun, but let's watch it.
The Constitution says treason is punishable by death. You've accused your adversaries of treason. Who specifically are you accusing of treason?
Well, I think a number of people. And I think what you look is that they have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person. If you look at Comey, if you look at McCabe, if you look at probably people higher than that, if you look at Strzok, if you look at his lover, Lisa Page, his wonderful lover, two lovers, they talked openly. You know, they didn't use their private server because they didn't want to get caught. So they used the government server. That was not a good move. He talked about the insurance policy just in case Crooked Hillary loses. And that didn't work out too well for them. So you look at them, they want an insurance policy so that should she, for any reason, lose, remember, 100 million to 1. Maybe he said 100 million to nothing. But should she lose, we'll have an insurance policy and we'll get this guy out of office. And that's what they said, and that's what they meant. That's treason. That's treason.
That's treason. He's right. That's treason. Damn, Republican Brandon Gill is like a machine gun. This guy is great.
There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir. Could I answer the question?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on Medicaid?
I don't know.
It's 73%. Do you know what that number is for Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households, but the majority.
The number is 18%. That's quite an astounding difference. I think we would agree.
Can I answer the question, please?
Let me ask you one more, and then we can go on to that. What percentage of Somali-headed households are on welfare in general?
I don't know.
It's 81%. What about, let me just ask you, after 10 years of being in the United States, what percentage of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare?
I don't know.
The number is 78%. So even after 10 years, 78% of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Again, you're using
non-Somali immigrant-headed households.
If I can just answer the question, when you're using the phrase native Minnesotans, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are as Minnesotan as any of us. They were born in the United States. It's only 8,000 of the 108,000 Somalis.
And nevertheless, the welfare usage is astoundingly different. Let me ask you again, does that make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Again, I'd like the opportunity to answer the question here. So again, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are born in the United States, as I understand it.
Okay, well, what percentage of working age Somalians who have been in the U.S. for 10 years or more, how many of them speak English very well?
I don't know.
About half. The answer is about half. That seems pretty low, doesn't it?
Again, I keep trying
to. It doesn't sound like something that makes our country stronger to me, and I think most Americans would agree with me on that. I need to move on. Ms. Robbins, when would you say we concretely knew that widespread welfare fraud was occurring in Minnesota?
There have been reports since 2009 from the Office of Legislative Auditor. I would say the credible reports on childcare fraud started surfacing 2011 to 2013.
So for over a decade.
Yes, sir.
When do you think Governor Walz knew about this fraud?
From the very beginning. He was running for governor in 2018 when there were prosecutions going on, when there was an OLA report, active cases in the news all the time.
And what was the Walz administration's response?
They actually did nothing when they got into office, and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan had been on the committee in the legislature that had hearings on childcare fraud, and when they got into office, they did put $5 million into a little more money, but nothing changed.
But nothing. And let me ask you, Mr. Hudson, thank you for being here. Did those who commit this fraud, do they typically vote for Republicans or Democrats, in your opinion?
In my opinion, thank you for qualifying it like that, I would say they most definitely overwhelmingly vote for Democrats.
Do they typically donate to Republicans or Democrats?
Not to my knowledge. They
don't
donate to Republicans, they donate to Democrats, in my opinion, yes.
Got it. So would you say this is the Somali population is an important demographic for Democrats to win over politically?
Unquestionably.
Got it. And do you think it would have hurt Democrats' political standing with the Somali population to investigate this fraud?
Very clearly.
Got it. So in other words, you're saying that there was a political incentive to cover up widespread Somali fraud. Is that right?
100%. Oh, and look at this. Somali Education Resource Center that's given $14 million has been found. They've been given $14 million to empty office.
Well, you get 20% off for urgent care services. I mean, look at this. So they're listing all of these, and you get 20%. I've never seen a doctor's office do this, but they're also the Somali Education Resource Center. What's the tie here?
Well, they don't answer, and they look through the little mail thing. There's nothing in there. It's a completely empty office. Nobody there. They've received $14 million in taxpayer money. Unbelievable. Here's a bombshell. Minnesota audit report just dropped, and it confirms Tim Walz' Department of Human Services fabricated records and did not verify grant recipients, tried covering their tracks, enabling massive fraud. Jeez. Yeah. Oh, and this is good news. Big win. House passed Protect Children's Innocence Act, 216 to 211. With a vote mostly on party lines, doctors performing puberty blockers, hormones, or surgeries on kids under 18 now face federal felony charges, arrests, fines, and prison. These procedures were Dem-supported child abuse. Yes, they will be arrested. Good. And look at this curious thing. Look at this from Massimo. Single cell manipulation with laser-powered microbots using elastic nanorods and laser tweezers. Look at this. They captured this one. They're bringing it to that one for some reason. I think they should just play soccer with it, with those things. What do you think? But look, they bring it under here. Then this thing, they activate it with a laser and it clamps it in. Wow. Look at that. Incredible. Very small scale. Isn't that wild? In Hungary. This is like a Model T, so they're going to get a little more sophisticated and not so. It looks like they have little wheels on them. Maybe these are the sensors that read the laser that prompt the different things that it does. Isn't that wild? I just think that's so wild. Very crazy. Crazy stuff. And Trump wants to abolish mail-in voting. I think we all know that. Oh, the White House posted this. Look at this. The White House. Look at this.
Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
Wait a minute. I take responsibility for not having them.
Damn!
The White House put that out.
Why did you refuse the National?
So good. So good. Cuba is out of gas, out of money, and fresh out of friends. If Cuba falls, it will be bigger than the fall of the Berlin Wall. Well, I don't know about that. Stay tuned. Things are moving fast. Freedom is sweeping across the global stage like a tidal wave, thanks to the historic leadership of President Donald Trump. I'll agree with that. Look at this from Massimo. This immune cell soldier yellow fights a highly aggressive cancer cell magenta. Look at this. Every time it flashes, it's another hit on this cancer cell. He did it. Dying cancer cell. See, our body can do amazing things without anything added. It's just part of your body cleaning up, doing the job. Isn't that wild? I love that kind of stuff. Oh, Nick Shirley crowdfunded Doge, the plan to unleash dozens of Nick Shirleys across America. Oh, yeah. Silicon Valley wants to scale the model nationwide. Oh, good. Wasn't James O'Keefe already doing that too? Look at this. being Marco. Marco Rubio is Trump's go-to acting secretary. Here's Marco finding out he's got to run Venezuela, Iran, Canada, Minnesota, Hilton, and Greenland. What am I missing? Look at him here as a Canadian mounted. Oh, wait. He's funny. He doesn't even have to say anything. Look at this. This is a little bit of karma. You like that karma stuff? Here's Robert De Niro says he has no choice but to leave New York City now that Mondami is officially the mayor. He wants to take half of my savings because I'm wealthy. I haven't worked in some time. My savings is all I have. De Niro was an avid supporter of the communists during his campaign. Oh, imagine that. Looks like he's reached the find out portion of his choices. Yeah. Careful what you wish for, you idiot. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, readers added context. No, the claim that Robert De Niro is leaving New York City due to a tax hike under Zoran Mondami is not true. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I didn't check that. I'm so glad that these things pop up. So I'm grateful for that. We need more judges like this. Listen to this.
He collects rainwater on his own land. The city called it theft and sued him. The judge asked one simple question that ended their case.
Your Honor, I live out in the county. I installed barrels on my property to collect rainwater for my garden. The city sued me, claiming I'm stealing water and violating laws. I'm just collecting rain that falls on my own property.
Your Honor, municipal code establishes that all water within city limits, including precipitation, is part of the public water supply. We're asking the court to order removal of his collection system and impose fines.
Counselor, let me ask you one simple question. Does the city own the rain before it hits the ground?
I can't speak to that.
Because it sounds absurd. He is collecting water on his own land for personal use. That's not theft, that's common sense. Case dismissed.
He collects rainwater on his own land. The city.
Case dismissed. That is the right verdict. Good job. Good job. Let's listen to this.
Now talk about people like Ilhan Omar and her influence here on the Somalian community. What influence does she have on what happens here?
Well, she's a key reason that we have so many Somalis here. She was a big proponent of drawing them in because once she realized how loose the regulations were here on all of this money, this welfare money, this assistance payments, she started bringing the Somalis in, and they came in from all around the country. So not only were they coming from Somalia, they were coming from Texas and Florida, New York, and everywhere else, because the word went out, you got to come to Minnesota because it's open season here. And so that's why, and they're still coming here, and they're still gonna get money. And so Ilhan Omar is, I mean, she's the godmother of the Somalis.
And so whatever she says goes.
Yes.
And you keep referring that Somalians don't move alone. If one of them moves, 10 of them move.
Yes.
So that's how they're able to multiply and almost compound here as far as their populations.
And so the idea is that they want to repopulate as quickly as possible. So that's why all these Muslim women you see, they're always pregnant all the time. Because when you have all these children, now you can start to overtake a city, a society, and now you run for school board, you run for office. We had a Somali guy, I couldn't believe he didn't get elected mayor of Minneapolis, but Jacob Fry, who was elected mayor, he's even worse. He bows down to the Somalis, he tries to speak their language. It's embarrassing.
And so these Somalis, they're Muslims, and Muslims are able to have 4 wives. And
Yes.
they're able to have, I don't know, I doubt there's a cap to how many kids you can have, but by having 4 wives, you're able to have more kids than a person with just 1 wife.
Yes.
And so obviously they're going to multiply and compound inside of Minnesota. So who knows what Minnesota will look like in 50 years from now?
If this doesn't stop, Minnesota's done. It will be Somalia.
Like, we know the fraud attracted them, but initially what attracted them to come here? Because a lot of them came underneath Obama with what was happening in Somalia. A lot of refugees were taken into the United States. What attracted them to come straight to Minnesota? It's freezing up here.
I think part of the reason was that the churches, especially the Lutheran Church, got involved with bringing over a lot of refugees. And it started back with the Hmong population, which was very large in St. Paul. And I was happy to have them here. They worked, they opened businesses. They were good community members. They're good citizens. And so I think they leaned on the churches to say, hey, we need to bring these people over because they're refugees. They're fleeing conflict. What conflict? I mean, they're always at conflict. They're tribal people. They're always at war. Bringing them over here doesn't cure that. All it does is bring those problems over here.
When they were initially brought over, did you think as they were initially brought over as refugees, was there a plan for them to eventually go back to Somalia?
No, I think the plan was that once they got here and they had their hand out and the state started putting money in, they said, I'm not going anywhere. And you're right, they hate the cold weather because it gets really cold here. But when you're getting $1 million a year, you can live through the winter.
And Trump, in a press conference, he was talking about how all they do is complain. He said the word bitch, all they do is bitch. And they complain. If they're coming from paradise, then they could complain, but they're coming from garbage, is what Trump said. And they're then complaining. How come you think some people that fled a place that was so horrible now come here to the United States and they continue to complain and play victim to the point where they call, if you don't support what they're doing, they call you an Islamophobe, they call you racist, to the point where eventually everyone's kicked out of an apartment complex and it's full of just one race. Doesn't that make them racist?
Yeah. Yep. Here's Alberto. Samples taken from the head, ribs, and femur shows that it belongs to a single organism, not an artificial construct. So there you go. This is good. This is good.
Bro, I'm at the aquarium right now, and there is a fish that looks like Trump. Let me turn this around.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to.
He's making aquariums great again. Isn't that cool? Breaking in jaw-dropping announcement, President Trump disclosed that George Soros and Reid Hoffman are funding Antifa and the left-wing violence against ICE. Trump vows to launch a RICO investigation against George Soros. Yay! I'm all for that. And here is this other reptilian, Alberto, of the Nazca mummies. And look at this. Start it over here.
I don't know.
Okay, he says Alberto is considered reptilian. A reptilian height is more or less 60 centimeters, 58, 60 centimeters. These beings vary likewise. The fundamental characteristics are tridactyl features, 3 fingers and toes. The head is elongated, completely elongated, with a very slender build. The ribs are different from humans, that they have an arch shape that goes from vertebrae to vertebrae, with cartilage in the part where the curvature of the ribs will occur, probably to have a flexibility so that the bones do not break. Then we have that the head is also elongated. The eyes are large, disproportionate to the eye, of the face. The septum almost does not exist. It has a small mouth. There are no teeth, no dentation. Probably they feed by sucking on something, liquids to feed themselves. He's just guessing there. It also has no hair. No hair. No hair. The bones of the neck are several and is much larger than the human, and probably that neck has been retractable. The lengthened and shortened according to what was needed, more or less with that neck. We could see the head at about 180 degrees from its position. Interesting. Alberto was tested here to see if, as they said, the head was llama and the bones were of birds and children. Then, when the biometrical biological examination was made, the engineering university then, when samples were taken from the head, the right rib, and the right femur, was concluded that the organic compounds belonged to the same individual. That is to say, this has ruled out the possibility that was some kind of fabricated with the head of a llama and with children's bones and birds, etc. The body is completely natural. When the sample was taken from the head, the element was found in the head. The brain probably was analyzed in Mexico, and it does not belong to any animal. That is rare. There is no comparison with any animal. Then the samples were taken to the left rib, and when the sample was removed, a small opening was made, and organ was found. It's probably the liver. So we have practically came to the conclusion that they are organic beings of a single type. There is no assembly. There is no manipulation. Not even pretending that they are fabricated dolls. So there you go. The skin covers is of a single piece. There is no paper. There is no cardboard that has been used to cover the body. Yeah, it's skin. And the skin, it has is organic and is from a living being. Yes. Something I think we already knew. Incoming Supreme Leader of Iran and Interim President of Venezuela, Marco Rubio, addresses reporters. Look at this guy. Joma Tech. Apparently, this person spent a whole vacation jumping around his living room without people knowing why until he sent this video. Look at this. It cropped it, wouldn't show the whole thing. Look at that guy. That's pretty cool. Too cool for school, you might even say. That's pretty ingenious. Oh, crazy idea. From now on, every January 6th, open up the Capitol and have guided tours like they did that day. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, very orderly. Some insurrection you got there, people. Never was. Never was. We already saw that story. And look at this. Astonishing video captures hydrogen and oxygen forming a water at nanoscale. Look at that. Look at that. And that's how water is made, folks. How do you like that? We need more of this.
Ms. Idris, this court finds you guilty of Medicaid fraud. You are hereby sentenced to deportation effective immediately.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ms. Idris, this court finds you guilty of Medicaid fraud. You are...
Yep, the next Shirley's friend. Look at this. Can you see both? Can you see the woman there and the man there? Look at this. Isn't this cool? See the girl? Now you see the man. Look at that. I like that. He can't believe it. He can't even believe it. Look at this. Someone got a picture of a UFO. It looks like a garbage can, doesn't it? Looks like a garbage can. It's got wheels on it. I'd say that's probably a garbage can. Garbage can, garbage can, garbage can. Big earthquake in Japan. Did you hear about this? 6.3. Crazy. Look at Dan Bongino. Looks like he's holding something back. Dan Bongino declares war on black pillars and grifters trying to hijack MAGA. Oh, good. I think that's very good. Here's the Nazca mummies, and this is the different places they took samples from here, here, and here, and they're all from the same creature, which has no relation to any other animal, which means either they developed here on Earth in a very secluded area and then died off, or they came here from somewhere else. I don't think you could, well, maybe they came from Mars or from Venus or some other celestial body nearby us. Who knows, right? Maybe they came from Maldak, that used to be the asteroid belt used to be a giant super Earth. You think? Could be. And there's our last show. So that brings us back over here. Oh, look, Mary Magdalene says, Aaron, at Aaron, always good to see you and happiest New Year all. Thank you very much. And Kathy says hi to Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene says, great evening, Catherine. And I want to wish you all, thank you all so very much for stopping in. We're going to put a cap on it. And we're going to let you go till Friday. We're going to be back here again on Friday because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. Thank you all so very much. So keep your cameras pointed to the skies so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO and come on to the Truth Quest and talk all about it. And Kathy says, good night, everyone. And then I said, thank you all so very much for that crazy UFO. And Cap 78 Pack says, hi, Mary Magdalene. And then Operation Shutdown says, I will keep my camera pointed to the sky so I can take a picture of that crazy UFO and come out of the Truth Quest and talk about it. All right. We're looking forward to that, buddy. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. All right. Well, thank you again, folks. Peace in, and remember, 9 p.m. is when we do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because we're just on Range of Strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. We'll see you on Friday. Until then, peace in. World peace, baby. That's right. It's coming. Oh, and we got another message here from Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer. Aaron, thank you, Aaron. God bless you. Much love and peace in. Have a great night and see you Friday. And then Operation Shutdown says, peace in, world peace, baby. Yeah, he knows it. All right, we'll see you on Friday right around 9 p.m. Central. Peace in. World peace, baby.